Walter Burien is going to be joining us to talk about a host of issues. The complete raping of society is now here. $1,500+ fines with no judge or jury for toll roads, you know, giant property taxes, VAT taxes, carbon taxes. It's all here by design. He's the guy that exposed the double set of books. He's coming up for the balance of the show and interspersed with your phone calls. But right now, you guys have been really patient, and I apologize. We had breaking news earlier with the 9/11 info. Let's talk to David in Ohio. You're on the air, David.
Oh, yeah, I like the story about the iPads, but you bought a few iPads. Why'd you do that? Isn't that kind of supporting the New World Order?
Well, absolutely. I mean, that's the whole point I make is we all contribute to this New World Order system. And I pointed out in the video I made where I tortured the iPad that people are being used as slaves to build these and most other products. And then meanwhile, we don't care about the fellow humans, but people will get set about the iPad. So I think I flagellate myself, you know, enough here, beating myself on air. But I will say it. I am bad. I'm a hypocrite. I am scum. How's that, David?
I just wanted to point that out, but I also wanted to point out with Rand Paul, I mean, you guys say they messed with the transcript, but he is for repealing parts of the Civil Rights Bill. And, you know, I mean, you're in favor of that. I don't understand that. I mean, that'll put us back into a system where black people won't be served in restaurants.
Oh, yeah, that's really going to happen. Yeah, I know. Rand Paul, he's really dangerous. We all better run for the hills. They lied about what he said, and he said that he's against people not being able to be in private clubs, and that's not even one of his campaign issues. Let me ask you a question, though, David. David, do you have what type of telephone you calling me on right now?
I'm on a cell right now.
Yeah, and I'm. You know, the point is, all these companies are doing this. Apple claims it's all liberal and loving, and so I've always pointed out the hypocrisy of how our own society buying this is destroying us. And I point out how I'm not adequate and I'm not good. And I think it's a disgusting, pathetic argument to call into this show and then to imply that I'm some type of bad person. I mean, am I taking your rights, David?
No, but like an hour ago, you said the government's gang raping us. Now, I mean, you got to tone down your rhetoric, Alex, for real. You've been saying it for years that the government wants to...
No, the government is gang raping us. The government is eating out our substance like the Declaration of Independence. So David, let me guess, you've got a government job.
No, I don't. I just want to ask you, don't you realize that there's a segment of your listening audience that really is deranged? And when you tell them...
Oh, this is a classic talking point. Classic talking point, Southern Poverty Law Center, that I am going to cause deranged people to go out and do things. No, the government giving nukes to North Korea could cause World War III. The government giving nukes to Pakistan on record could cause World War III. Israel giving nukes to South Africa could cause World War III, and they have them, by the way. And they gave them bioweapons research in exchange. That's now on record. The government raping and robbing and stealing our wealth and our money is what's causing people to be deranged. And you're calling in implying Rand Paul is really basically an evil person that wants black people to be back out on the back 40. And you're calling in saying I'm evil because I talk about how I have an iPhone and how this thing is used to enslave us and control us. And I show people this, and I illustrate how all cell phones track us in real time to control us. And I use it as an illustration, and you call in with nothing. You're not going to do anything about the bank sucking us dry, anything about the comprehensive annual financial reports, nothing about the fluoride in the water, nothing about the cancer viruses and the vaccines, nothing. Nothing, David. What's your story, David? Who do you like politically? You like Barack Obama, David?
That's been double-blind studies have proven that's not an issue. What I'm more worried about...
Wait. Double-blind studies have shown what is not an issue?
Fluoride is safe, Alex.
Sodium fluoride is good for you.
I'll go on the air right now and say that. What I'm more concerned about is some of your listeners...
Oh, you're scared of the American people. Whoa, Rand Paul, America. Sir, the bags of fluoride that they put in the water have skull and crossbones on it and it says deadly poison. I've had top EPA scientists on of how it's a cumulative poison. The Nazis did use it in death camps. Pulitzer Prize-winning authors wrote the IG Farben Crime and Punishment who were part of the Nuremberg trial. And you just call in and say double-blind studies. Baloney. All the... You cite your study right now.
You're not answering my major point, Alex.
Cite your study. You know what? I dare you then, punk.
Alex.
Shut up. I dare you to eat an entire bottle of fluoride toothpaste. I dare you to eat that and videotape it live on the internet. You know what will happen to you? You will go to the hospital, buddy, and you'll have fluoride poisoning. It says on the back of the toothpaste it's deadly poison, not to swallow it. Answer the question, you scum. Hey, don't worry. You're going to get what you want, you government bureaucrat. You're going to get what you want. You're going to get your big government. You're going to get your fluoride. Go take all your vaccines. Just give it all to your kids. Just, you make me sick. You make me sick.
We're on the march. The empire's on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
Hi, this is Alex Jones. Did you know that the global elite are now storing non-hybrid seeds in secret storage vaults near the Arctic Circle? Did you know that in a real meltdown, non-hybrid seeds could become more valuable than silver or gold? It's true, seeds have outperformed even gold and silver before in this country, and it's possible that could even happen again. So our friends at Solutions from Science have put together the perfect mix of non-hybrid seeds. They call it a survival seed bank, and it can produce an endless supply of nutrient-dense food for you and your family. And here's the best part. These seeds have not been genetically modified in any way, and you actually get enough seeds to plant a full acre crisis garden. So visit them today at survivalseedbank.com. That's survivalseedbank.com, or give them a call at 877-327-0365. That's 877-327-0365. Remember, in a real crisis, non-hybrid seeds are the ultimate barter item. This is Alex Jones for survivalseedbank.com. Hi, folks. This is Alex Jones, and I want to tell you about the Silver Lungs generator. Now you can produce pure and endless colloidal silver and deliver the solution directly into the bloodstream by breathing the solution through the lungs. The respiratory system is the first line of defense for airborne pathogens and viruses. The Silver Lungs generator infuses the respiratory system with your self-produced nano-silver solutions and also delivers the silver nanoparticles instantly into the bloodstream. With continued legislation threatening the sale of nano-silver products, you can now produce pure and endless colloidal silver with the Silver Lungs generator. Very easy to follow step-by-step instructions are provided, making production fast and simple. Go to www.silverlungs.com today and learn more about the breakthrough technology of the Silver Lungs generator. That's www.silverlungs.com. Hi, folks. This is Alex Jones asking you for a minute of your time to tell you about soap. Not detergents, but good old-fashioned pure soap made by the Cal Ben Soap Company, a family-owned and operated American company. My family, staff, friends, and radio listeners are constantly telling me how much they love these products for bath, hair, laundry, and dishes. There is nothing like these factory-direct, big money-saving, triple-concentrated soaps anywhere. Get a free detailed catalog by calling 800-340-7091 or see them online at 5starsoap.com or Infowars.com. Let's talk to the owner of 5 Star Soap, Marty Schachter, and see what he has to say.
As founder and owner for over 63 years, people keep asking me, how's business? I'm happy to say our business is going down the drain. Call us at 1-800-340-7091. Visit our website, 5starsoap.com, for buying our 1 to 2 month soap sampler. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, 4 years ago, the American Dental Association said that children under the age of 6 should not brush their teeth with sodium fluoride because it causes weakening of the teeth, dental fluorosis. There are scores of major U.S. government studies that many types of bone cancer more than double, and even more than double if it's in males. It's even worse in males. Anyone can Google this. Anyone can search engine this. We have thousands of studies that mercury causes brain damage, but it doesn't matter. The feds put out 2 studies a few years ago saying mercury is good for your children's brain. This was put out on national CBS TV and re-aired as part of a news feed on local affiliates. Here is CBS News in Austin saying mercury is good for your child's brain. And you could tell Dave was not breastfed, has a small brain, and probably has had plenty of vaccines. He's so scared of the American people who want to keep black people out of lunch counters, which was never said, but he's scared to death. He's not worried about Goldman Sachs or the global meltdown or Kim Jong-il. He's worried about Rand Paul, folks. He's hiding under his bed right now. So, hey, Don't believe me, David. I'm a fearmonger. You're right. The news says mercury is...
containing vaccines may have on kids.
A life-saving device wins over-the-counter approval by the FDA.
And sick of your glasses and contact lenses? A new corrective eye surgery is approved today. Here's tonight's medical headlines with Medical Watch reporter Seema Mather.
Mercury-containing vaccines may help, not harm kids, according to 2 new studies in the journal Pediatrics. There have been widespread concerns that mercury-based preservatives in vaccines might impair the neurological development of children. These new studies suggest that the opposite, that the preservatives may actually be associated with improved behavior and mental performance.
Okay, so you know what? Maybe you do have a study saying fluoride's good. Maybe you got a study saying that if you take a 357 Magnum and shoot yourself between the eyes with it, that it's going to increase your IQ. But, or maybe you think if you jump off the Grand Canyon without a parachute, it's going to improve your IQ. Or maybe you think playing in traffic is going to improve your IQ. Maybe you think drinking buckets of cyanide is going to improve your IQ. Maybe you think cutting your veins with a, taking a meat cleaver and just hacking at your arm is going to help your, your pedicure. I mean, whatever, punk. Don't call in here with your Rachel Maddow talking points on me. I could care less if you listen or what you think of me. If somebody calls in disagreeing with real issues and really asks questions, oh, I'll spend hours with them. But somebody calls in with talking points, lying about Rand Paul and trying to basically distort what I stand for. By the way, saying that parts of the Civil Rights Act have been misapplied, like making men's fraternal orders take women and making women's fraternal orders take men. I mean, have you heard all the cases? In fact, let's just Google one. Transvestite, transgender sues over no access to women's bathrooms. And, a lot of these guys in these cases are whacked out. They're in there with their privates in front of women, and women walk in, there's a man in there, and the women say, I don't want you in the bathroom. Well, you know what? They sue. Give me a break, okay? It's out of control. It's out of control. There you go. Transgender sues Macy for discrimination. I can't go into the changing room. Oh, that was one of the cases. I don't know what this case is. Let me read it. A Filipino-American is suing her former employer, Macy's department store, for wrongful termination discrimination for close to 3 years. Was an employee at Macy's store, and it goes on. Worked in the cosmetics department, was fired in September last year for allegedly insubordination. But see, that's not it. There's cases where they want to be in the dressing rooms. But look, whatever, man, you want to dress up like a woman? Great, good for you. I'm thinking about star systems and galactic vortex and, genetic engineering and off-world bases. And I'm thinking about, the human species. I'm not thinking about your mascara. Okay, I'm like, ooh, this will show mommy I'm putting mascara on. Whatever. Dress up like Ronald McDonald if you want. Don't come after my private property. Don't come after my guns. Don't come after my kids. Leave me alone. I'm not owned by you, you scumbag corporate government looting everyone. I'm going to Walter Burien here in a moment. I'm going to take your calls throughout the interview with him. I'm just really wound up today, as you can notice. But first, I want to tell you about a few sponsors. Then we're going to Walter Burien for the balance of the broadcast with some key info. I want to tell you about Front Sight, ladies and gentlemen. Have you heard of the Millionaire Patriot? He has a free handgun and 5 days of world-class firearms training for you. You can attend 5 days of world-class training at Front Sight Firearms Training Institute and secure a 30-state concealed weapons permit, all for pennies on the dollar. Plus, if you act fast, the Millionaire Patriot will give you a free Springfield Armory XT pistol and the caliber of your choice. I believe now is the time for you and your family need to be armed and trained to levels that exceed law enforcement military standards. Front Sight provides such training without any boot camp or drill instructor attitude. FrontSight.com, FrontSight.com, FrontSight.com. I love them. You're not going to get my guns, David. Sorry. They're still red-blooded people, and you parasites don't like it. You think you're going to have us lay down and you can suck our blood, and you don't like us getting too upset. Well, we are upset, David. And you should be concerned, David. Because we're not bending over anymore, boy. One other sponsor I want to tell you about is a Cola Blue. Did you know you could be drinking clean, fresh water made right out of the air you breathe? No, this isn't something out of a science fiction book. Our sponsor, Cola Blue, the Cola Blue 28 and the brand new Cola Blue 30, machines will allow you to do just that. It's easy to use, and it will make up to 7.5 gallons of water per day. The water, once generated, passes through a 7, or in their bigger unit, 12-stage filtering process. It's the best, cleanest water you can get at colablue.com, ECOLO blue.com, or 800-691-6043, 800-691-6043. Folks, I am literally being animated by the spirit of liberty right now, and I'm just sick of it. I'm sick of the tyranny, and that's why they're afraid. They're so afraid. They want to set the parameters of debate and tell you to sit down and shut up and drink your poison water and take your shots and eat your GMO food and let the little control freaks who are actually vicious devils run our lives. It's not happening. It's over, scum. Got it? It's over, scum. The veneer of civilization is burning off our hull. It's peeling away and showing what we really are, the dynamic, genius creatures that will not be dominated by anybody. Do you understand that? I know you don't like it because you're cowards. The truth is scum and weak filth always joins together to pull down the real men, to pull down the real humans, to pull down the people that know the destiny of this species. Ah! All right. Now I'm going to shut up. I'm going to stop now. Walter Burien is an advocate of government financial accountability and budgeting. He was enlisted in the U.S. military, goes through that, forwarded to nuclear power school. He put in early discharge the Navy, United States Naval Academy, worked at Xerox Corp, Princeton, and then he was a big trader on the stock and exchange, did a bunch of key work that let him discover just some amazing stuff that was going on. It's just best for him. And Walter, we've got like 30 new affiliates since you were last on or more. So just talk to me like I'm a 6-year-old. That's the best way I learn. Everybody else learns. But when you first covered this 14 years ago, it's all been vetted out now. Now it's a mainstream term. People know about the double set of books, just like they now know about the Federal Reserve. They don't know as much about this as they do about the Fed, but it all ties together. So you got the floor to describe what the comprehensive annual financial reports are, what the double set of books are, what the private corporate takeover through government is. And it's good to have you back with us, Walter Burien.
Good to be back, Alex. I just had one comment for Dave, your previous caller.
Yes.
And that one comment is, predators do not like armed prey. About over 10 years ago, I did a little statistical survey. I was a commodity trading advisor, and I'm quite familiar with graphs and charts and so forth. And I looked at each state for the highest and strongest taxation and money taking from the populace, state by state. And then I did a comparison with the least restringent gun ownership laws. Well, when you compare the charts side by side, the states that are taking or stealing the most amount of money from the population has the most stringent gun control laws. The states that were taking the least amount of money from the population have the least restrictive gun laws. And I go back to what I said before, predators do not like armed prey.
Look at Daley, that big, fat, admitted mob boss wanting everyone's guns, period. They're a bunch of predatory scum, and, oh, they make me sick. We're supposed to not like people that want us to be their slaves, as you know, Walter, and you've been through hell through government persecution with them taking your son, everything else, but you're supposed to love it. You're supposed to thank the government. You're supposed to worship them and appreciate all the evil they give you. You're supposed to say, thank you, sir. Can I have another? Please rub it in.
Now, when you say government also, keep in mind people have this false illusion. They say government, and they draw a blank. Government is made up of individuals with names, addresses that are running the show. Now, at the top echelon, the congressmen, the senators, the governors, 70% now are attorneys. Everyone knows the reputation of an attorney. You got to use me or else you'll be destroyed. And then once you use them, we're going to take as much money as we think we can get from you. And then once they screw you, they say, they act all indignant, and if you don't say thank you. And we now have 70% attorneys running the entire show, walking with as much cash as they can take now and dotting the I's and crossing the T's to lock in the productivity value of the next 5 to 7 generations. Now, let's get a clue. Is there a problem here? Yes. And it needs to be corrected.
Well, in every case in history, elite groups get together and try to get control of the population and then make them slaves. That's 101. But you said during the break you wanted to talk briefly about the new 9/11 info that's come out. Then let's get into the,
well, in my bio, if you looked, I was a tenant at One World Trade Center back in 1978 to 1980. And the key point I see a lot of people are missing, goes way back to when they were planning on building the towers. They had lawsuits filed against them from the surrounding buildings saying that you're not going to build this gigantic tower if it fell over to take out 20 or 30 buildings. So they had to come up with a design that was guaranteed not to cause that problem. So the original design, which was approved and the lawsuits were dropped, was to build a center core steel column in the center, which would act as a guidepost for all of the suspended floors. The floors would be suspended on that center steel core column, and in any event that for whatever reason the tower was collapsing, it would pancake it down around the center steel core. So picture that center steel core as a broomstick, and the floor is supported on it. And if they started to collapse, bang, 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 down on the guidepost. There is no ifs, ands, or buts, period, that if the floors started collapsing around the guidepost was to be left standing. So you would have the entire tower collapse and this massive center steel core column in the center.
But instead, they were blasted off at perfect intervals and ejected out 600 feet.
Well, let's say, for argument's sake, the plane generated 20,000 degrees of heat and melted the steel core columns on that floor. Then you'd have the entire upper floor topple, and the rest of the steel core column staying in place. So there is no ifs, ands, or buts, period, end of story. That tower was demolished for the center steel core to drop with the floors that were pancaking down. No ifs, ands, or buts, end of story.
Absolutely,
Walter. The original design of the World Trade Center towers, and that point, you'll find out that that steel core was designed to be left standing as the guidepost for the collapsing floors.
All right, Walter, now I want to get into the main reason you're here, and I appreciate you coming on, and we'll give people your website. You have a new film out for people available on the website, and you've got a director's cut coming out soon that I hope you put on DVD so we can offer it because, of course, I produced a little documentary with you in it called Comprehensive Annual Financial Report Exposed on Infowars.com. It's on DVD, but that was made 12 years ago. So much more has happened since then. Your new update, everything you talked about 12 years ago has now come true. But again, let's go back to your awakening, what you discovered. You got involved in the news media. You found out about the Comprehensive Annual Financial Reports. And now what's happened? Because, again, you expose this. You expose the fact that this is an organized mafia criminal operation. Every city manager knows. I've had city managers in my studio on other issues, and I bring this up, and they get this big, giant smile and turn red.
Don't say a word.
And they won't say a word, and they just start laughing, you know, even though it's been, quote, patriots. One of them was a good guy who's fighting the NAFTA highways, and I brought this up, and he just laughed and turned red during the break and said, I'm not getting into that. So this is the big, delicious secret. So let's break it down.
Well, the beautiful part is it's actually not a secret. It's there in plain sight. The whole game was the silence is golden routine. Never talk about it, never mention it. No one would look, no one would think about it, no cognitive thought created. But I found out about this back in 1990. There was a governor who got elected by the name of Jim Florio in New Jersey on the new tax platform. As soon as he gets in, $2.8 billion tax increase. It was drafted by the prior administration, but he could have vetoed it. There were two DJs that were operating at a 101.5 FM in Trenton, John and Ken. We're now out in Los Angeles, the John and Ken Show. Well, they started doing rabble-rousing, saying, no, we can't do this to us. We got to stop it and repeal this tax increase. And I called into the show just reading from the budget report at the time, 1990's budget report from New Jersey. They had $11 billion on budget, $6 billion off budget, service budget $17 billion, net available about $25.3 billion. And, you know, John and Ken goes, well, we have to stop this. They have so much money. And 10 of us got together and incorporated a group called Hands Across New Jersey. I took over looking at the budget, revenue, and finance, being a commodity trading advisor and dealing with numbers. $1 or $10 billion. It's just a number. Where the population, oh my God, $10 billion! I can't even think there. My mind goes blank. Yeah, it's just a number. So I started looking at the budget report, and I noticed all the income from the autonomous agencies were not there. The interest, massive investment accounts I knew the state had were not there. I said, this is not the whole picture. The director of the budget, Richard Keevy, was on vacation that week. Didn't come back till the following Tuesday. I called his lower assistant. Hi, this is Walter Burian. I'm working on a report for Richard. I have to get it done by Tuesday. I need all the figures on the autonomous agency accounts, interest accounts, investment accounts. He goes, oh, you want comprehensive annual financial report? Bing, first time I heard that before. And got it that Friday. I was only concerned with the bottom line numbers: total cash, gross receipts, total investments. Total investments were $188 billion, just for the state government, Inc., not the cities, the counties, just the state. And I started looking for the gross income, total cash, gross receipts. The number one question IRS asked in an audit. Found it on page 174 under cash additions. This shows the cumulative income for tax income, investment income, enterprise income, federal grants, whatever income the state had, just state government now, keep in mind. And the figure was approximately $83 billion. Now, that figure, when I saw it, I said, this is the definition of organized crime. Here they are promoting a $17 billion operating budget, and in the overall picture, they're bringing in $83 billion. And, I started digging, and I found
I'll tell you what, stay there. You're digging, and then the rest is history. Stay with us.